I think we're gonna choose Sly, even though there is another branch, because this is on the side that we have been working on the last stream, so it's more fresh in our memories, probably. Someone's memories. Maybe not mine, but someone's, I think. Okay. Alright, they needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. Oh yes, because we've got Mr. Squirrel Man. Story game. How's it going, Katie? In Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided they'd run the classic good cop, sly cop. There are sure a lot of options, and none of them are the correct type of cop. What? You know what? It's fine. I don't need logic. I don't need logic. It's overrated.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation.
Doing homework? How is the homework? I hope it's easy.
Luca and Volo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task.
Oh, it's Beck's turn to do something.
With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver. What? What's going on here? You're that Modewell girl. Please, call me Beck. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
Easy peasy. You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. Very true. So, it turns out we're both here to...
Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
Destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yup, the old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
An amused huff. She sure is. Can't blame her, though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. Side note, I'm here. Been lurking for a bit. Happy lurks. Hope your day is going good, Nahi. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You sure you can finish this up on your own? Mr. Tolliver is not very smart. You changed the sub badge, nice. Yeah, I hope that everyone appreciates the sub badge change. I've been thinking about doing it for a while, so it was time. Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There is one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. I'm late. You are late. How dare. High score. How's it feel to be late? When usually you're like an hour early. Shocking. Is it the weather? Did the weather get you? I forgot. Oh, I thought the weather might have stole you. Well, it's nothing really. The other day I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf, and wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an odd phrase in a perennial harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Was watching the last Star Trek TNG episode and playing Timberborn. I saw you were playing Timberborn the other day. Has there been an update or something? Or you just had a craving for some Timberbornin'? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. Fun, yes. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading
Okay,
for
bye,
the
Mr.
stairs,
Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
Tolliver's so dumb. Just a craving working on my big world with the giant water reservoir I have. I could never get the giant reservoirs done. Ever. You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf, but all he ever sells us is apples. Oh wow, that's tragic. So tragic.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rollo. Well, sure, but when things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried. Covered. Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies. So you would be 21. N would be 14. D would be... Ooh, it's an anagram. Nuncreed's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
Rollo, when did you get smart? Rollo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's new drugstore. I don't want to go there. No, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Investigate Nuncreed's drugstore. Wow. I want to go places and do things. Oh, hey, it's you. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man would be late to his own funeral. Where did he go? Like... Something ain't right there. He shouldn't... Like, he left. Right? Oh no. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Who's caught up with work? You two don't look anything alike. Work. You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh? What do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about? I think
Gus looked around nervously.
Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what current perennial harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That's just a temporary arrangement until the toxic, gets too toxic and murders everyone. The glow can be seen from our damn backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
If it's hanging in the air, she's speaking too loud for secrets. We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town's going to change whether we like it or not. Are we gonna choose to be a part of that future, or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus. But you will always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. As he shuffles away. It's getting late, children. Where are you going? That's not the way to your house. Okay, cool, I guess. Oh yeah, we're going to Nun Creed's. I was like, where am I headed? I'm lost. So lost, so fast. Oh hey, little Doge, hi. Let's be besties.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore,
Why?
holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
I don't know many a child that likes black licorice. Hey Solomon, we're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he Nuncreed? Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on, licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. But whatever floats your boat. Oh my god. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. What can you tell about someone who likes to eat black licorice? I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncreed kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty, such as keeping licorice in stock. For some, it's as easy as cold, hard cash. And for you, it's black licorice? I would pick the cash. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Well, the door is locked. Can I shuffle along the back here? I feel like we're supposed to go to the telephone booth because it's lit up, but I didn't want to go there that quick. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncreed? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got, like, a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Grin's Nude Rug Store! Rollo. There's not, no. I mean, underground secrets. The password.
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Sounds very claustrophobic. Alright, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground. Secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great. Now what? I guess we...
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing.
You would think they would have just like an elevator, not just a drop.
It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground.
Is it though? Oh, we do have a new area to investigate.
The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. You knew that there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the transdimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue number 12 were real? Rolo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each of these has something written on them. Great. Can I examine other things first, though? This suit has a broken mask. So, have we found our mystery warehouse creeper? Well, we've at least found their hazmat suit. If it walks like an uncreed and talks like an uncreed. Let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. Are you just saying, though? Are you really? Mining Operations Alpha. Mining? You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer. And a series of tubes. Always says you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa, you don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Okay, great. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff. Is she involved in all this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Maybe she moved here to be involved, you never know. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. Oh wow, now we have to interact with this. Okay, that explains why I couldn't before. That's a lot of buttons. A lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech. Rolo, please don't break it. Please don't break
Rolo's
it.
hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Oh no. Don't do it. Eeny, meeny, miny. Rolo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow yet. Oh no. What was that? Hide? Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Oh no. Shit. Shit. Awesome. Uh-oh. You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets, if that is your real name. I told them it was an absurd password. But they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Well then, no, I like my skin. We'll have to show you my progress in Timberborn. Do it. I wanna see. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
Oh no. Why do they think they can take on an adult? You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
Before the tubes? All of this. That's a lie. It's true, I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Where's the bright-eyed, Nuncreed? You just like jam and creeping on Gran. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Oh my god. They're not making the situation better. Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand, and he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was, it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him till the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
Don't you dare, Nuncreed. I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this. But you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know? My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Luca, do you got a tattle? Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's gonna disrupt the festival? Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
No. How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground layer we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. No. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now. She's in danger. I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square. The fountain? But why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy it, it could catalyze, and dear God, she's gonna freeze us all. Okay, bye, Nuncreed. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. Oh, okay, bye. That did not go how I expected. So, we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. I love that Rollo is willing to go first. You good? Yep. We didn't wait to make sure. I love this town. She's been here like 2 days and already part of mysteries and maybe crimes.
Chapter 8.
Chapter 8.
The cold, hard truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark.
Futurama travel, little do the children know, all their bones will shatter. Facts. Such facts. It's why Nuncreed is so lumpy.
Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carry her gracefully along.
I would totally get
She heard
sick.
the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Oh no, I don't like the cold. It's cold here and I'm not a fan. Wow, this is a place to land. Oh, there we go. I was like, where is Beck? That was intense. Yeah. I think I might have farted with some fluids in there. Ew. You went first, Rollo? Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got on any of us. Thank God. I'd be so mad at you, Rollo. So mad. It didn't even feel like we traveled that far. Honestly, it looks like the property in front of Gran's house sans Gran's house. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We gotta catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Are there not footprints? Catch up to Mr. Nuncreed. I want to look over here, though, because, like, there's this spot, and it's a suspicious spot, you know? And then there's this, which is... Oh. This is totally a winter... Oh, my God. We're heading back into town, aren't we? Our house is missing? Yeah, that's... This looks... familiar. Yeah. Maybe we can clear off the snow? No time. Nuncreed's getting away. Okay. Wow. Alright. Why is there waste over here? Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well-versed on all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of town. I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Rollo, stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy. Here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. The final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pine citizen of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving. I want to see if I can acknowledge... I cannot acknowledge the waste sitting there. Alright. Well, let's check where the one guy is usually taking a nap. He is most definitely not taking a nap there now.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square,
Gran?
they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center.
Oh no.
He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild.
Oh no. Catch up to Mr. Nuncreed, success.
Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
No thank you. Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not gonna solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran? What's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over the torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Yeah, do it. Fight. Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to effect change. Very convenient that your way just happened to line your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge.
Do we have a choice to
Amid
make?
a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions.
Oh no, we don't have the right answer for this one, I'm sure.
The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
Yes, give me the stage. Do it. And in the stillness, he began to weep. Yep, we only have one option.
And in the stillness, he began to weep.
Sad. I didn't even know we had weep as
It
an
was
option.
all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This'll all make sense soon, Luca. Then everything can go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr.
Don't do
Nunfried.
it. You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness.
And now we all freeze? Yeet.
She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
How would it keep its flame going? Oh, you know what? No, I don't need to know. I don't need to know your secrets. It's fine. You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to...
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence.
Oh, no. Yeah, we knew that was gonna happen. Dang it, Gran.
Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror. There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever.
There's a lot of doomed universes here.
And so,
All
our
of them, in
story
fact.
ends on this melancholy scene.
Except maybe one somewhere over the
In
rainbow.
a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well,
Are we gonna throw a
that
tantrum?
was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from.
Where all the ice is coming from? Yeah, we did figure that out. Good
Now,
job, book.
We just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Have we tried putting a band-aid on it? Okay, so... Oh, wow, that's such a dramatic picture. I need to take a drink. But everyone can admire this picture of Gran with fire. Everyone likes fire, right? Okay. Now, we've learned that being any sort of cop is not the correct way to go. So let's go back.
Quickly, hide behind the bodies of dead Lucas.
Yes. Hide behind the bodies of dead Lucas. Easy. There was such a delay again on text-to-speech Cat that I was worried that Cat was not going to respond. Alright. So, anyone who does not remember what happened on this branch, we gotta go back to the day of the Robo-Pandas of Redness standing outside while we have the squirrel bully who is partially mutated from us getting him splashed. Okay. Caught in a trap, Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left because when he shot that thing last time, it did not do them any good. Blight.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they
I
had
was
left.
thinking that it wasn't having
Flight.
sound and was a little sad until it spoke, but the delay did make it better. Yes, it gave it dramatic pause.
He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense
Pause.
cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches.
You got
He
this,
looked
Luca.
up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See you, jerks. Wow, the rope burn is real. Oh, fine. We know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca
I gonna
and
die
Iggy
this way,
winced
too?
as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the?
Why didn't Iggy ever just go home and, like, show people that he was all weird?
That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back.
Whoop.
The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice.
Oh no, I thought we escaped the ice.
Chapter 5.
Wow, we're 5 chapters into the past.
Signs.
Signs?
They stood silently,
I don't like reading.
catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
Oh, we're like back in this area. So this is accessible somehow. That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost him. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. And what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Find a way home. Well, I'm gonna look this way first. Luca! Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
It's that bozo Care. I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't ya? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
Rude. We gotta keep moving. Well, that way is not the way to keep moving to, so I guess we're gonna go this. Oh no. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. That's a bit down from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Did they not? I thought they were hiding and waiting. What's all of this? Hard to say with all the snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out the letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep in Weepwood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Let's just throw you at the sign. Easy. Alright, there's nothing I can... Oh, I can just make a snowball. Alright, cool, cool. I'm great at aiming in this game, yeah. Yup, there we go. Welcome to Beacon
The boys
Pines.
stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
Welcome to Nightvale. This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at back before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell's going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Alright, alright. I want to see if I can interact with this time. I can! This stuff look familiar to you? It looks like the barrel near...
COVID-free. Back to work the 10+ hours in the office. How's the beacon? Bacon?
The beacon is very bacon indeed, except frozen. Frozen bacon, which means not very delicious, but it could be. It has potential once you toast it up a little bit. Also, glad to hear that you're COVID-free. How was work? Even though that sounds like way too long to be working right after COVID, but I'm glad that you're doing better. Shoved me into you? Yeah. Yeah, we didn't mean to shove you into it. I'm sorry you mutated.
Listened. Each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Ice. Looks like the stuff they put up around Weepwood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. Probably Perennial Harvest? Oh hey! It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Them poor minnows. Whatever happened here, it happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run, 'cause fish don't run. Or, you know, swim run. Ba-ba-ba. Ha-ba-ba-ba. How's it going, Flame? Also, how's it going beyond the work and COVID's soul? Okay, I got stuck on the river. It's fine, we're fine. Can I acknowledge this house? No. Can I acknowledge this?
The crunching
Still
of
no.
footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all this. I'd love to get toasty with you. Work was work. But overall, just chillin'. How about you? I am chillin'. I was outside earlier for a little bit, and a little bit was too much of a bit, you know? Way too cold. Also, congrats on a 5-stream streak. So proud. So glad. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do ya? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled, the town's destroyed, and everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. He's such a quitter. Iggy, it's gonna be okay. We just gotta throw you into
Luca
that basketball.
peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
You shouldn't, he was a bully. It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
I feel like you shouldn't just sit in the dark outside, though. Let's just rest for a
The
bit.
boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
But why? The way the snow covered everything over, it's kind of calming. Yeah. Ugh, I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. No, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Also, the way your cute ears cover Iggy, it seems like they wear old lady glasses. Oh my god. I love it. Iggy needs them old lady glasses. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Jeez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rolo are always having a blast together. Yeah, Iggy just has a rhino that's only word is yup. Laughing and calling that dinky treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. With this perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Dang, right? This is getting deep. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet and she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
It must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Outside? Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all
Luca's
this.
eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Outside? Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little tree house. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
How do you fall asleep mid-conversation? When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad. That's rough.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it.
Nani? Shocked. Shooketh.
It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive.
Or you. Oh, thank you for the resubby purr. Has it already been 3 months? My, how the time flies. Badumtis. How's it going? How was your raid? I will grab a hot seat. Plus ultra. What is my biggest superstition? Like, what does that mean? I don't understand what that means. That was the hot seat card, though. I'm gonna take a drink while maybe somebody translates what a superstition is in this context, because I don't know. Thank you for the hydrate, the flan hat. Raid was good. Almost got a new boss down to 2%. Is that good? Are they hard to get to defeated?
The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively.
A little difficult. It's all about learning the dance. I don't want to dance. Love the flan hat. Me too, me too. How's your day going, though, Nahi? I don't think that we had a chance to talk much because you were doing a lurkinin'.
Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see.
Flan needs their own jiggle emote. Oh my god. That would be so jiggly.
Let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes.
I don't think it's like, what you do to give yourself luck? What would I do to give myself luck? I don't know. Eat a lot of snacks. I don't. I try not to think about things too hard before I do them, you know? Officially on mini vacay until Monday. Is there a special occasion? What does everyone else do for their giving themselves luck thing? A superstition you believe in is just something that's kinda unreasonable. I also DM'd you. Okay. That you think is real, but the way that card was phrased that I threw on the floor, so I can't see it now because it missed my other desk, was like not phrased properly for that. So I don't know.
The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor.
What is our doppelganger really in this?
Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister.
And it's the slowest time for hiring right now, so why not take some time off? Fair though, fair. I used a lot of my time off too because work was real slow anyway. For example, my middle school science teacher, who was the baseball coach, wouldn't wash his uniform after. Ew. Why? But why?
He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch?
Yes. I used 3 PTO days and got 5 days off. That sounds really nice. I definitely think that you needed some time off.
There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people.
He believed it was good luck. He said his longest streak was 12 wins. Ugh, that's so gross. I can't imagine wearing a icky shirt for sports 12 times without washing it.
I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this.
Oh no.
Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son?
What about him, I guess, you know?
Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile.
Panic smile.
Luca, is that you, buddy?
How's the kitty goddess doing? Moving any better? Sometimes and sometimes not. It just be how she be, but she can get around more or less by herself now. She's just gotta need like a little bit of supervision, because if she gets confused or she loses track of what she's doing, she ends up sitting down somewhere, and sometimes she can't figure out how to stand back up. She just kind of flops because she's like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then she just waits and sees if anyone shows up to pick her up. I'm like, ma'am, you can't do this life. You really can't. You gotta keep going. You can't just sit. I can't always be there to unsit you. She really likes to just walk outside of my office and then flop outside the door and then stare at me because she knows I'll come collect her eventually.
With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye.
How much of that is her being injured or just being lazy? See, that's the real thing, because she's so dumb, but she's also so smart, and it's hard to tell if she just knows at this point that if she does that, I'll come and collect her. And I can't tell if she's just trying to get a free ride out of me or not. But she does have a limp that sometimes is more pronounced than others. But, like, I don't have to worry about following her around room to room as much anymore. So that's what's important.
Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all.
Fine woman, time 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 fine.
I need to ban that. The nature has a soul that is always trying to achieve balance. How so? Dutchie, how's your vacation? Yes, tell us all about your vacation, Dutchie.
Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of.
Business. Dying.
I'll be back in time to tuck you in.
We're poisoning the planet, and nature kills us back, huh? Oh, pop, 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 pop.
Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise.
Liar.
With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation.
There's not a whole lot of above.
Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head.
Oh no. Knock knock,
From
anyone
a deep
home?
slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me.
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-headed, scarfy-necked furball. Yeah, take that. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great, how about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait, do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? Them hearts though, yes. Everyone's so happy to see Dutchie here. You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Okay, Cheshire Cat, I hear you. Alright, that does it. Look, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Okay, bye, Iggy. Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience thin, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. What a natural response, but tis. I'll show you how to get back home. I mean, it's not a stream if we don't got a Dechi, it's true. It's a weird day when Dechi ain't here.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Wait, do the sub-cups fill as you stay longer? Yes. They change. There's secrets. Secrets among the cups. How do I see mine? You're a founder, so you don't have a cup. You have a founder. Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
And close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place.
Now I'm Yoya now, yes?
Cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look now, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weep Wood, or we teleported to some alternate universe. Or this is all some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. Just got out of the bath with fire. Needed it after a long day after work. And with it being so cold, a warm bath sounds so good. So be it. Is this just like a town down the hill? And relocated? As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. I feel that. I took an everything shower earlier and feel great. Best life choice. Best life choice. You both grew up here. But the town you've called home for the past several years.
Bing bong bing bong bing bong.
Bing bong bing bong bing bong. Is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. A hydrate, but a replica, nonetheless.
Bing bong!
Bing bong. You trying to choke me, Naeem? Have soda in my mouth, and you're bing bonging? And then the bing bong goes? That's impossible. It's too much work. You'd need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. And then the bing bongos and the bing bongies. Yes, exactly. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is uncover.
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. Why did you say the source like that? Cognitive reality, are we playing Persona 5? We better be. Why indeed.
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's so ridiculous. We have a toga plush and a toga figure now. I want to see him.
The source.
The source. You should show me them sometime. There's no way they could.
He looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
Bet we'll send a pic. Thanks. If this really is home, why was your house
He sprinted
missing?
off into the pale distance.
I knew it.
As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out.
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weepwood.
Chapter 6. The Source.
The source.
Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know.
Where is my house?
Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow.
Oh, he's checking for mission control.
His numb hands hit something hard. A headstone.
Oh, no. He was looking for Dad.
A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here? All this time I thought I was visiting you. But you've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply. Just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of
It's time to
approaching
get
footsteps in the snow.
Plays the Melon and Puzzle theme song.
Duel, yes. Oh no. We gotta hide. How are there no footprints? 259K. Fall off distance, still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who loved them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Bonk. Best time to throw snowballs. Hey, don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Is he dancing? Okay. Weirdo. Alright, yeah, dance right off the screen in front of a grave. What was that, right? Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. Words. About to go lunch, Ladyland, yes. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Thanks. Hey. Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover? Who you helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you acting like a horse's ass, bongo, 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 I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Kerr and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Bungle, 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 pop, pop, pop. Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to Perennial Harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. Knife. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And what if it's too big to smash?
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. Cool kids don't look at explosions. Facts. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. Locate the source. Alright. We got a zoom. We got a source. We got a welcome to Beacon Pines. It can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rolo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh heavens, no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Up. Is that how you look when you join Times Live? Oh god. Well, do I? Time to keep going. Oh, shucks. Now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Let's throw him in. Can confirm. Oh, God. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously.
They totally talking about killing. They're gonna be murders.
He emerged
Violence.
holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
Oh? What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. So why'd you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rolo were doing chores at Rolo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks, so flaming chicken coop, you know. Yay, violence, yes. So I mighta underestimated things. You blew up the whole chicken coop. I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Dino dance. Rolo got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under that tree. But when I came back for him later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found him and
Iggy
tossed him.
triumphantly raised the shoebox.
The chickens. Hopefully the chickens all lived. The coop just went up, you know? Turns out, it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. The reaction Kigo and I get when time goes live looks like this. Yes, I love the reaction. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boys. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Love the voices you do. Thanks. But if the chicken coop went, then the chickens go too. What if the door for the coop is open though? They could run out. They could escape. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I'm always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Just you wait until I do Doki Doki again. So the voices, they will return. All them voices. I don't know if we're going for Monica or what's her name, Natsuki? Next time though? I'm sorry, Sayori, but not Sayori. Nani, yes. True, but still, since we don't know, poor chickens. Fair. Prepare for blast off, loser. Wow, this is cheesy as heck. Okay, let's start zooming. Let's go to the source. I think we found the source. Ooh, town hall. Can look at crooked. Just like this whole stinking place. Oh, I can get a reaction. Alright, alright. Well.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes.
Push.
Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Crooked cop, something like that. Echo. Whoa. I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town now. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source? It's a dang hole? How do we smash a hole? Thought you wanted to be creative. I think we smash it by throwing Kerr in there. Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr. Where's Rollo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drats, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
Kerr, you knew where you were going. You had time to stop and get a jacket. It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Oh, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source where they collect the unrefined.
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. There's no point in explaining it. If you're gonna murder us, burn the town. I feel like fire might not work in a frozen over town. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh heavens, no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Fire always works, I wish. Complications like us? You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime. And you happen to be extras, ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not gonna be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for the melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. Oh no. The red pandas are here. They're here to get us. There. That's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Run, right? Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't?
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Oh no. Stop. Let's not do something regrettable. Explosion. I guess fire is an option. Now it's time to turn them into red panda onesies. Yes. Right now, they do look quite fuzzy. Joke's on you. Regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. But that's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
That sounded so, yeah, I heard it too. I tried not to, but I know where you're going. I know what you're thinking. Stop, you fool. Of course, evil guys gotta say, "You fool," at the end of their sentences. Call off your goons. I wasn't the only one. Good, right?
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. Oh no. Toya, please. You all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. They think it saves them, right? I'll handle these two from here. The fact
Mr. Kerr
that
sighed
the
into
pandas
the
walk
frigid air.
backwards. It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What, like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into
Oh
the hole.
no. I like that the sprite is still smiling. Yeah, still smiling. Ooh. No, the red panda onesies. I know, they escaped us now. There were enough for all of us, too. I'm gonna chase after them, be right back. Do it. Get them. Get us all some onesies. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca.
Oh no. Oh god.
Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side.
For Mac's comfort, yes.
Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped.
Oh no. This is
His
dramatic.
grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
Iggy, find a way to get the coat off, bud. You reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. What channel do I use? Doesn't make a damn difference, they're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. How about no, right? I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life? What, really? Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go? Grabs popcorn and watches. Ooh, Trauma. Yes.
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Lived a long life. Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Mr. Kerr, you're a little nutso. I hate to tell you this. Buddy. It is very long live the king. Wow, can you believe this guy? Oh my god.
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't gonna kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no. If I'm dying, you dying with me, right?
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. 2 birds with 1 stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
A calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Iggy a true hero, yes. Alright, so we've got options, which means we probably only have 1 option, and we need to revisit this scenario later. Luca had no choice but to... Oh, I can choose to refuse or accept. Oh no. I didn't think they were gonna give me both choices right out the gate. Oh no. Do we refuse or do we accept? I'm gonna take a drink. while hopefully chat helps me decide. What do we do? Okay, I was like, I can't understand that. Oh my god. Guys, yes. Make your decision. Make it quick. Accept. Yes, make a poll. Oh no. Refuse. Refuse is probably a bad end. I'm thinking refuse is a bad end. Both tumble over. Okay, we've got 2 refuse. We've got 2 accept. And we need at least 1 to tilt the scale to which direction. Are we accepting or are we refusing? Don't make me be the tiebreaker. I mean, Dutchie could be the tiebreaker if he wanted. Refuse if you want to see the bad end. That's not answering my question. I'm asking chat what to pick. Too late, 12. Accept. Nope, neutral on this one. Oh no, 12, you really are the tiebreaker. It's facts. It's facts. You gotta do it for the greater good. There's 3 refuse, 2 accept. Oh no. I want to see them all tumble into the hole. But do you want me to choose refuse or accept, Scorn? What does tumble into the hole mean, since is it... When is what one? I said refuse. Okay, okay. So we have 3 refuse? I thought we only had 2. Because I saw Scorn's refuse and I saw Purr's refuse. And then I saw Toya and Kigo say accept. So who's gonna break that? I think it's a 3 accept. Is it 3 accept? Who else accepted? No, we do it long live the king. Oh my god. I'm just giving you one more moment. I'm gonna take one more drink of soda while we dramatically wait to see if 12 tries to tell us. Refuse so we can see the bad ending. What? And then go back and hit accept? Okay, okay, 12 said refuse, so we gotta refuse.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards.
Oh no, not the clipboard.
Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair.
I'm amazed that they didn't just let everyone go in.
I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end.
Sorry, Iggy.
I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
What? No way. Okay, let's go back. Time to accept. I feel like this could end up just freezing over everything again. But you know what? Time to accept.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request.
Wanted to see them all fall.
With
I know,
quiet
right?
blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down
They
into the
murdered
howling
someone to
void.
make it facts. Does it surprise you though?
As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Did you know the Game Theory channel is ending on March 9th? I heard that it was being passed over to a new person. But yeah, I heard about Matt Pat retiring. I imagine it's probably a very hard decision that he made. Good. Bye, Iggy.
The 2 silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Oh, there goes a firework. Thanks, Iggy. I'm glad you gave me fireworks. Iggy a trooper, right? Wow. Hell of a goodbye, Iggy. Like, our whole relation started around that. And FNAF. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Oh no. We didn't step back. Curious. But of course. Iggy just pulled a Gandalf. He will come back later as Iggy Pop. Who knows? He may come back in the future, yes. Those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. Who's the hamster with a hat? Nat? Also, it's not a hamster. It's got a tail. Thank you very much. Not that you can see, but it's got a tail. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempus liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can take the relationship between matter and time itself, but doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks make the hole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
We do have some idea what that would look like. It'll take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? What is this sorcery? I wish we knew. It's top secret. Top perennial harvest red panda robot secret. I have been. In my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Don't you mean sorcery? Badumtis. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn. You are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow.
Okay, thanks.
Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
What? Why that name? Did they do that on purpose? They couldn't.
Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm?
What?
Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Pines Harder. Oh, that was awful. That was terrible. Oh my god. Beacon does not need to be that. No, disagree. Strong disagree. Okay, instead, we're going back to the source again, but to hum. He began to hum.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind.
Bet this thaws Gran's heart. I sure hope so.
The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay.
The coldening, yes.
That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud.
Raw snow, yeah. It is indeed. It's quite raw. I don't know a non-raw snow, but you know, it's fine, it's fine.
Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank.
Oh no, Toya.
Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together.
There will be Beacon Pines 3. Oh no.
She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
The power of music. Didn't know this was going to be a musical. Guys, I know that this is a real sentimental moment, but we have some pressing matters to be dealing with. It's soothing though. Yeah, but there's a giant hole in the center of this town that is our town but is not our town, and there's a lot of cold air happening. It's like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Oh no. Yep, just as heartwarming.
Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How did you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? Only people who call me that are my dad and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees.
The goo? Right?
Nani?
Nani. Something about her was undeniably his mother. Only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, buckaroo. Mom? What? Right?
Luca sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close.
Mom.
And the cold retreated from their bodies.
Mom took on the persona of Grandma. How? How did he not notice? Right? Eleanor? I thought you were gone. You should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd have pieced it together by now. You were exposed. Mom, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where'd you go? Why'd you leave? I never left you. I was always right there, Luca. Why'd you lie to me? It tore me up, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. No, she couldn't have, Luca. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then what do we do? We have to stop him.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
Yeah, Joseph just realized that real fine woman he was admiring ain't really Granny at all. They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now. There's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth. He liked him old. Fact. He was hitting on his best friend's wife. Uh-huh. Exactly.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. Okay, bye. You gonna just chill there? Okay, bye, Nuncreed. I guess you didn't need to come with us. It's, didn't need you there anyway. You don't understand. He always wins.
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know.
Oh.
7 months ago. Eleanor Van Horn crept down
just
the
ignored
maze of
exactly.
sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus liquamen. There were dozens of them. Every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod.
Oh no.
Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Alright, time to hit the hay. Talk to you later. Talk to you later, soul. I hope you have a good day tomorrow and have a good sleep. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. Party crashers time, yes. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret, and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated... Mrs. Hartford, I'm going to have to ask you to... You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniveling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. Don't you all see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. So no one's left town in like 5 years? What's wrong with people, right? That's what I'm wondering. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable so that she can get the help that she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is... That's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Oh no. Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. Ah, the ever-tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. Are you sharper, but you de-aged instead of age-aged? I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr. Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir, of course, sir. You have done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket.
Why not him?
In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to
called it.
contort and expand.
Only a couple minutes
as he
ago, but I still
disappeared
called it.
into a belching green mist.
Did we really have to use... Oh, wow. You are... Wow, that looks uncomfortable. Wow. Okay. Okay.
A hushed horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
What? No. Ah, so you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. This festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This gas was so bad he aged himself, right? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Oh wow, the Sharper Valentine Festival. Wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. Malicious? I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr.
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward. Bye. Does anyone have something to contribute?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Dad? I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence? Squandered. To say I'm disappointed would be an understatement. But silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you fail me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting my time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about? It's all right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. Time to Mufasa, yes, exactly. There's just no helping it. Now then, where is Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Oh, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense, the people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter. Cheer up. You're about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again. And I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty.
Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of Perennial Harvest?
You think that puffed up blatherskite could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow. You've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Wow. Patrick C. Montesquieu, thespian extraordinaire at your service. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It truly was the role of a lifetime.
Wait, so this Bill Kerr was a Pat C the whole time?
Now that your secret's out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears the most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. The young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. What every single supervillain says ever. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do given time. And now, time is my plaything, lies, slander. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought, but well worth it.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Oh no. Enough chit-chat, let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties.
Yes, time knife them.
Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Okay, where is the alternative that we've just found? Struggle, change, chill, ponder. Oh, malice is another tree there. Okay. Shoot. I'm unsure what to do because we are already over the time that we usually have. So I'm debating on if it's worth trying this or if it's going to take a super long time. Do we think this is the last route or do we think it's going to keep branching? I don't know if this tree can build more after this, you know? So I'm conflicted. I would assume it's the last. I would too, but it's so tough to figure out. I don't know. I'm going to take another drink of soda because I do know that my throat hurts. Okay, we'll try it. We'll hope for the best. I can look it up real quick. No, it's fine. We'll try it. Thanks for the hydrate, 12. Oh, we're back at the telephone booth. Okay, I think this was one of the routes where Rollo got stolen? Or was it just we ran away? I don't know. Anyway, there was a blank lurking behind those eyes. There was a malice lurking behind those eyes.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes, like a trap ready to spring.
We know better.
Luca felt the weight of Nuncrete's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
I just want this all to be over. Of course, I'm sure it'll all work out soon enough. I think it's got a while. 2 more branches, it looks like. I said don't look it up. I said don't. I should get going. I told Roxy I'd check for Rollo at the treehouse.
Luca twisted free of Nuncrete's grasp.
Of course. Luca, you know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. Uh-huh, I'm sure I can. Well, we're gonna try to waddle over to the treehouse. Oh god, it's not a Sharper. These festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now, if I were to throw a festival, it would be a thing to behold. I agree, this is all more than a little sad. It's worse than sad. It's boring. What if we did a little something to spice things up? I'm listening. You know that festival sign waiting to be unveiled? It would be a shame if someone...
The two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
Luca screams in fury and, of course, the old guy completely through. Yes, exactly. He's got horns. He can do it. They're nubby, but that's fine. I'm sure that with enough force, it'll work. It'll do. Identify yourself, please. Nellie Modwell. I work here now. I am unable to locate you on our staff roll. Oh, I don't officially start until tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done. Hold, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. Great. I'm realizing that there probably is more than two branches left to go. Alright, we're gonna zoom this way. Oh, do I have anything else I can do at the lake here? Here we go. I need to check. I need to, for science. I feel like we should be able to get 2 more things, so... There's
Luca tied a bent nail onto the line. Oh. If all you have is a hammer...
If all you have is a hammer... Then... You... Okay. I don't know. I just don't know. I do know I'm real impatient when it comes to this fishing game, though. Oh, man. Oh, look, we got a thing. Is it a picture? It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Let me see that. Huh. Look at those two young fools. How'd it end up in the bottom of the pond? Who can say? Some things are just hard to explain. I miss Uncle Joseph. How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He is busy with his new job at Valentine's. What's a new job got to do with him fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. Okay, seeing that, there is at least one more event where we have to get a thingy and then go back through time. So I am actually going to pause it here for today, and we will pick it up next week. If we beat it next week, maybe we'll play some more House Flipper. And, I don't know, have a degenerate hour during House Flipper, as seems to always happen. But yeah, so we're going to wrap things up here for today. Thank you everyone for stopping by, chatting, hanging out. Thank you again to Purr for resubbing. No, it's not degenerate hour right now. Go to bed. That is a mood. But yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out, doing the things, or Vampire Timberborn or some other game if you decide. Yes, facts. Whatever I'm feeling at the time. Who knows? We'll find out. And thank you everyone for lurking, chatting, doing all those things that you do. Bungo, 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 and I hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye.